Nowadays, it can be hard to imagine a world before Amber Alerts, before a 24-hour news cycle and social media alerting you to a missing child. But in 1974, none of that was in place when Jacksonville experienced an eerie string of disappearances. Continuing her series on the vanishings of 5 little girls in 1974, here's Katie Jeffries with Unsolved.
As police continued to investigate the disappearances of Jean Marie Schoen and the Anderson sisters, another little girl would go missing. Her name was Virginia Helm. But unlike the other cases, this time there were possible witnesses. And also this time, there would be a body found. It was just before 7 p.m. on September 27, 1974, when 12-year-old Virginia Helm was sent to the store to buy some soap. The store just a block away from her home at 1941 Dean Road.
Within 45 minutes of her leaving, her dad went looking for her and was unable to find her.
Sergeant Dan Jansen with the cold case unit at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office took us back to the scene. He says officers searched the area all around Beach Boulevard and Dean Road, but Virginia had vanished. 3 days after she went missing, there was a break in the case. A couple reported seeing a red VW Bug off the side of New Kings Road near the Duval-Nassau border.
They said when they approached the car, they saw a white female in the backseat floorboard of the vehicle, and he basically yells at her, tells her to get down.
Reading from the original handwritten report, Sergeant Jansen says the couple described a young girl very similar to Virginia.
With her knees in the floorboard, her hands on the rear seat, trying to get up, looked her in the face, saw her eyes were very large, as if she was frightened, and they were very rapidly looking back and forth, left to right.
But the couple says the girl never screamed for help, and the man jumped into the car and sped off. But in his rush, left something behind.
There's a bag that's knocked out of the vehicle onto the ground, and it was collected and tested for fingerprints back in the day.
But could now be tested for DNA. But there is also another lead. The day before Virginia went missing, another young girl less than a mile away on Glendale Avenue told police a man in a red car had approached her.
Basically tried to get her to get into the vehicle, said that they would kill her if she didn't get in, but she didn't fall for it, thank goodness, and she ran for help.
Her name was Mary Ann. She knew Virginia. The two walked to the bus stop together. She told us Virginia kept to herself, but was kind.
You would have never met anybody any sweeter. She was very quiet.
Mary Ann says she felt like the only person who took what happened to her seriously was her mother, until after Virginia went missing the next day.
I remember her looking for the people, going out riding around looking for the vehicle herself. But I do not remember them coming until after Virginia was missing.
The common thread in both leads, the red compact car. Almost a month after Virginia went missing, a couple walking through the woods collecting pine cones made a gruesome discovery.
Virginia Helm was found murdered and buried in the woods near Beechwood and Beach Boulevard.
Shot in the head, wearing only a blouse and partially buried in the dirt, it was confirmation that 12-year-old Virginia Helm had not run away. She had been murdered. The story was now the front page news of the Jacksonville Journal. With multiple other little girls still missing, the wooded area around Beach and Beechwood was searched extensively on foot and by horseback for more graves, but none were found. The investigation grew. More manpower was put towards answering the burning question: what was happening to these little girls? Tensions and fear began to rise in Jacksonville in 1974. 4 little girls were missing with no answers about what was happening. But sadly, one more would vanish before the summer was over. That story tomorrow on Unsolved.